I think he was probably thinking more -20.
That middle put the P-I-M-P in the pimp. Come on now.
All of the P-I-M and the P.
Yeah, all of it.
All of it.
The whole thing.
100%.
The whole thing, the whole word. Yeah, just bear with us. This is our first official interview. We're all a little nervous.
Really? Yeah. We got the premiere interview. Exclusive.
That's right. That is, y'all got the exclusive. I've turned down some too, just to let you know. I've turned down two.
Well, good.
Because I was like, yeah, we're not ready for all that yet. But y'all going to be number one.
Well, good. I'm Anthony Bonnette, your host, and you're watching Come and Pick It. Before we dive in, I'd love for you to hit pause for just a second and leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you tune in. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. For all the latest updates, head over to comeandpickitpodcast.com and sign up for our email list. You won't want to miss what we got coming up. Well, today we got Red Dirt Steppin. We got Lance Lawless, the founder, Ashley Jackson, Lance's Ride or Die, and Garrett Payne, a.k.a. Red. Thank y'all for being here and taking the time to do this.
They appreciate you having us.
Yeah, where are y'all from?
You want me to go first? Well, I'm from, most people probably have no idea where I'm from, but I'm from a little small town, East Texas town called Overton, Texas. Yeah. If you blink,
my mama lives in Overton.
Oh, does she really? I did not know that. So yeah, then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's a Dairy Queen kind of town. 4-way stop in the Dairy Queen. That's about all you got. You got some mom and pop stuff, but it's a great place to be raised. I mean, we got to kind of run wild, be free, and enjoy our childhood there. So anyway, kind of miss that small town life.
Yeah,
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, wow. Big city girl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one likes to give me a hard time about it.
If you're going to be from a big city, Fort Worth's not a bad one to be from.
I mean, she knows now what snipes are. So she wasn't able to catch it, but it's okay. We're going to go do it again eventually.
Right. You got to try. You got to keep trying. That's.
Yeah. We only gave her a bow with an arrow. We're going to let her step it up next time.
Red, where are you from?
I'm from a small town as well called Falco, Arkansas, out there about a little south of Texarkana. It's in between Texarkana and Shreveport, Louisiana. Grew up
How can it be south of Texarkana and be in Arkansas?
No.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, my brain's fried from the day. I'm sorry.
Take two.
Yeah, take two. Yeah, no, it's
let's try that again. Just
we'll false. We'll retry that. So I'm from a small town of Falco, Arkansas, in between Texarkana and Shreveport, Louisiana, and I grew up there till I was about 6. Moved out to Dallas, Texas, with my mom. Yep. She got a job out there, made it big. Then I moved back to Hope, Arkansas, which is northeast, okay. I believe. Yeah, northeast, somewhere like that. Finished out high school.
Yeah, Bill Clinton territory up there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Finished out high school up there, and then went to lineman school over in Marshall, Texas.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
You're moving the right direction later on in life.
Yes, sir.
So when did y'all start dancing? Lance, especially, did you dance when you were a young man? I mean, you're still young, but you know.
Oh, thank you, man. What are you doing later? Okay, just kidding. For sure, we're gonna be banned for that one. Yeah, no, I have. I've been dancing for a long time. So I started dancing probably when I was 10 or 11 years old. My mom, she taught me. She actually pulled me into the living room. Had no idea why I was coming into the living room, but she pulled me in. She's like, "Son, I'm gonna teach you to dance." And I was reluctant at first, just like any 10-year-old is, like, oh, I don't want to do this. But then she didn't give me a choice. So she taught me right there in the living room how to country dance. And then I still didn't really understand it. But she told me as I got older that I would thank her later. And I've been doing it now for over 30 years. And I absolutely thank her. I mean, it's served me well over my my years and my single stages. Sorry, babe.
That's how we met.
Oh, yeah. That's forgot about that.
There you go. What about you, Ashley?
So I've been dancing. I mean, I did like technical dancing when I was younger, but I didn't learn how to country dance until I turned 18.
Hold on. What is technical dancing?
Well, I did like tap, jazz, hip hop.
No, she didn't.
Oh, wow. No, she didn't.
And then when I was in high school, I did drill team. So that line of dance.
Okay, so more formal kind of dancing.
Yes.
Yeah, me and Holly took some ballroom classes. We took like a foxtrot, I think, dance, some kind of swing kind of stuff. It was pretty fun, but it don't have any relationship to country music.
Oh no, and that's a whole nother podcast in itself. We'll talk about that later. Country swing, let me tell you, it's great.
Yep.
Oh.
Now, Red, did you ever take any foxtrot?
No, I don't believe so. No, I don't think so. No, my first time dancing, I was 18 years old.
Okay.
I told my mom. I told her, I said, "Yeah, I want to go to a bar when I turn 18." So she took me out to Cowboys Red River out there in Dallas, and where my stepdad forced me to dance with a pretty older woman. I was pretty nervous at first. I'm not going to lie, but then again, ever since then, I've loved it. So yeah,
it's pretty fun. Once you get into it, it's addictive. I mean, it's similar to being a musician, and you're in the because when you're playing music like on stage, I do that now and then. When you're doing that, it's kind of like the music is coming out of you and flowing through you. And dancing has the same thing where you're just in the music, and there's really not a lot. I mean, that's a real good way to explain it.
Yeah.
So Lance, I hear that your dad was a musician.
Oh, yeah. He was. Of course, I was pretty young. I mean, I got to hear him sing, but I wasn't even thought of back when he was in a band. But yeah, he grew up. He was in the choir. Man, he won like I think he won a national choir event at one time, and him and his brother started a band. They grew up playing the guitar from an early age and singing. So I remember days when I was down there listening to them sing and play the guitar, and I tried to pick it up, but it didn't quite work.
Where'd they play?
Where? Oh man, they played all over for a little while. Just they grew up. They were down in the DeBerry area. I don't know if you know where DeBerry is. Yeah, DeBerry down there by Carthage, Texas. So they just played in a few little honky tonks here and there. I don't know the names of them. I'm sure my mom could tell you because she had to go right along with them. Kind of like your better half does. It's just got one and the same, right? But yeah, I mean, I grew up around country. Yeah, I grew up around country pretty much all my life, from country music and then my mom's side of dancing. So it's in my blood.
Yeah, and Ashley, growing up around the Fort Worth, the stockyards and all that, I bet you had a lot of music and dance and kind of. Were you in those bars pretty early on?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I mean, I feel like it's ingrained in you whenever you grow up there. Everybody that's around there, you can't wait until you turn 18 so you can go to the stockyard. So as soon as I turned 18, my wonderful parents took me out there for the first time. I had a time and I was hooked.
Wow, that does sound fun. And so you were dancing like right from for a dude, it's different. Like for a dude, you have to know how to dance before you can go out and ask somebody to dance. For a girl, a dude can come up that knows how to dance and ask you to dance, and you can just kind of do it. You can fake it, especially for a pretty girl.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Very true.
There you go.
That's right. She did all right.
There you go.
Dance. So
You didn't take me off the dance floor, so that was pretty good.
no, shh, don't say that. Got a reputation to uphold. Come on, man.
Red, what about you? How did you come into dancing?
Well, that was pretty much it a minute ago. I mean, like I said, I just told my mom, so hey, I want to learn to dance. I want to go out to a bar. So when I turn 18, y'all just take me along with you. And I mean, like I said, that first night was pretty cool.
And where was this at? Y'all all went at 18?
Yeah.
Well,
I got such a late start on all this.
Oh!
I feel like I got robbed.
Back when I was growing up.
Yeah, same.
I may have started too early in life, to be honest with you. I was going to teen clubs back when I was like 12.
Yeah.
So I've been dancing a long time. They don't have.
So you danced from then straight to now?
Yeah, I have. I learned other styles of dancing, but we will leave those for the videos. We're not going to discuss.
What do you mean other kinds of dancing?
Don't worry about all that there, Anthony. Can't do it.
This sounds like, is it break dancing?
Oh, hey, man. Back in the day, I could do a little bit of that. Not much. I could do a backspin.
Really?
The worm. The worm is my, I could do the worm. That's my go-to move at the bars, doing the worm. No, I did, I do a little bit of all of it. I mean, I used to be able to do break dance. I used to be able to do some hip-hop dancing. I have a little bit of rhythm and stuff like that. I just never break that out.
Hip-hop dancing?
Yeah, unless one song comes on, then
he could do it.
I say I have videos that prove otherwise.
Hey, watch out now! One song comes on, you get to see it.
So he will try it, but it's just not. It's not great. Is that what you say?
Well, yeah, not anymore.
It is.
I'm getting rusty in my old age, but
I bet it does. I bet your joints kind of stove up a little bit, and you can't really do those.
Yeah, you can't move like you used to move. They don't zig and zag the proper way anymore. That's right.
Well, Garrett, tell us about the first time you went to Cowboys Red River, and what was it that hooked you on two-stepping?
Well, I'll keep a few things out. First time going there, I walked in. I was pretty nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I had a few drinks here and there before ever going to a real bar, and at the time I was 18. But like she said, in Texas, you got a parent with you can drink. My stepdad walked over to me and said, "Hey, you look like you're a little nervous." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, come with me." He bought me a Miller Lite. Oh, sorry, water.
Are we allowed to say that on here?
Sorry,
I don't know. Holly will bleep it out if not.
Oh,
yeah, okay. But he loosened me up a little bit, and he was like, you came out here dancing. You're not dancing. I said, well, I don't know how. So he said, okay, I got you. He dragged me along, come and found a pretty older woman. She's probably my mom's age at the time, which is where I found my love for older women.
Ooh. Here we go. I didn't know it was going to be this kind of podcast.
Me neither.
It's like 50 Shades of Red in here.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Oh Lord, don't get him started.
Oh yeah, but no, she needless to say, she took me around the dance floor most of the time. But she did teach me how to.
Oh, is that a euphemism? You said she took me around the dance floor. Is that like a?
Well, we won't go there.
Subliminal messaging? What do they call it? You trying to tell us something?
Hey, we're not gonna go there. But no, she taught me how to two-step, taught me how to double two-step, and ever since then, ever since that dance, I went and grabbed a couple more girls and
really
kind of got hooked on it. Then I think it was a couple weeks later, my buddy took me out to Electric Cowboy in Louisville, Texas, and and I mean, ever since then, I was just grabbing girl from girl from girl from girl. I'd have the entire bar of girls dance by the end of the night. I mean, that's just it just hooked me, and so ever since then, I've loved it.
Yeah, that's pretty neat from the very beginning. So you were doing that same thing I saw you do the other night at Pearl's. You've been doing that from the beginning.
Well, I haven't been that good. But I'm making myself good now. I mean, it took some learning.
It took some molding.
Yeah, it took some molding, especially from.
But you've loved it just as much since the very beginning, anyway.
Absolutely. It took.
Yeah, that's really what it takes.
Around the fifth floor one more time. Right?
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
All right, let's get off that. It's getting a little salty over there. So, Lance, what inspired you to start doing this Red Dirt Steppin thing you're doing, and how has it grown since you started?
Oh, yeah. Well, to be very honest with you, I kind of owe that to my mom, too. You know, when I got a divorce from my baby mama many, many moons ago and became single again. And like everybody that goes through it, I kind of have my ends, my downs, my ups and my downs and everything else. And then, you know, one day she's like, son, why don't you go get back into dancing? Because when I was married, we didn't do a lot of dancing. So that's kind of a time period of my life where I really didn't get to do much of it. And my mom's just like, get back out there and dance. She goes, people have always loved to watch you dance. Just go be you, have fun. And so then I did. I took her advice, and I started just traveling by myself everywhere. You know, I'd go to Dallas by myself, or I'd had some friends going with me. Sometimes I go to Dallas, Fort Worth, and I really just started dancing. Didn't think anything about a group, nothing like that. I just started dancing on my own. But then I started getting a lot of feedback from it. So I'd post videos of just me dancing, and I started getting a lot of just people just hitting it and following it and liking it. And then I just got to thinking, I was like, well, you know, this would be kind of cool if I could find like-minded people that enjoyed the dance like I do. And so I started recruiting people. We still didn't really have a group at that time. I started recruiting people. Ended up being about 6 or 8 of us that would go out, meet up and dance. And then we started posting videos. Then after that, I decided to start a group. And then once I started the group, I guess it just kind of took off. You know, we've had our ups and downs, but it's really, really been an exciting time. I mean, here lately, we started 2 years ago. I guess I started about 2 years ago. We hit some rocky points, but I guess towards the end of last year, man, it really just started taking off. You know, we've got the group narrowed down now to a select group of people that really see the vision. They understand where I'm headed with it. And where everybody's like-minded. And so we're all pushing for the same goals. And so here lately, man, we're doing really well. I mean, we're working out deals with artists, creating music videos. We're talking to record labels on getting involved with their artists. We're launched a clothing brand. There's a lot of wheels turning now. You know, we've got brands and stuff reaching out to us, possibilities of doing some brand ambassadors for them. So things are really picking up. We're excited for 2025. I hope it keeps moving.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, you've got a good brand. I love the name Red Dirt Steppin. I mean, and you got a great T-shirt, a great logo. You got a couple of really good logos. You know, and logos, you change them every so often. But you're really good at that branding and marketing and stuff like that. And with the group of people, with any group of people, with a band or a group of friends or whatever, that does happen. Like you start off with the group, and not everybody kind of thinks the same or dances the same or plays music the same. And you just kind of have to go through it until you find the right group. And I guess you've kind of solidified a little bit with that.
Oh yeah, we've gone from almost 100 down to 60 to 30, and now we're sitting roughly at 10.
Yeah,
and we're on the lookout,
team.
though. We're going to recruit some more, but they're going to have to be on the same page going forward.
Right.
We just can't. I mean, our momentum's going too much now. We can't have anybody that's going to pull us backwards. So.
Yeah. So I've got a question. What were your first impressions of one another? So, and I want to know from each of you what you thought of the other one the first time you saw them dance, and when you were thinking about joining the group too.
Oh boy, who wants to take that one?
Well, I don't know, because
you should start because it came from you.
Yeah,
you want me to start?
Yeah.
Because then,
all right. Well,
after if you want me to go after.
Yeah. So we'll start with Red. Me and Red, when he first started coming around, I had no idea who he was or what he's about, and I'll be very honest with you, he liked them adult waters, and he get pretty rowdy. ain't gonna lie to you. There's a few times I was like, man, who is this guy right here? I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man. But he just kept coming around, and then me and him got, I guess it was after, well, he had been in the group for a little bit before me and him really started getting close. I mean, we hung out, out and about dancing, but really only during the times was with the group. And then he could dance. He could dance pretty good. I was watching him out there a little bit. He wasn't as good as me, but he's trying. But
well, he's not lying.
Just joking, man. Just joking. And so he came on board with who recruited you to the group? I can't remember who. Did you just start coming out?
I just started coming out. I saw it on Facebook.
Saw it on Facebook. That's right. He saw it on Facebook. Started coming out, hanging out with us, get to know everybody, and then joined the group. And then it was still a couple of months, probably 3 or 6 months before me and him really started talking. I mean, he'll probably tell you the funny side of it in a second. Whenever if there's a little funny story that goes along with that. But that's how I met this cat right here. How I met this one over here, I met her out dancing as well. It was at Guitars and Cadillacs. I probably shouldn't tell the story. I'll probably let you tell the story.
Oh,
so much better.
I'm not good at you're good at detail and telling the story. I'm not. I feel like I ramble.
Why are you so embarrassed?
I feel like I ramble.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell the story.
You can tell your POV and I'll tell mine.
Right. So I'll tell mine, and then
that.
she can tell me if I'm telling the truth or if I'm adding extra to it. But I'll be very honest with you, man. That's another one. And you're going to think I just can't keep relationships, and you'd be right. 3 years is about my limit, and then for some reason we just part ways. So I had just come out of another little. Well, now this last one was only a year, so I broke my record. But I just got out, quit talking to this old girl, and didn't really want to be out doing much of anything. But I had the group going, and so we had some good girlfriends of ours that was in the group that lived up in the Dallas area, and so they drug me out one weekend. It was me and two other girls and another gentleman that lives in the Dallas area. He came out with us that night. And I just went, and I really wasn't into dancing. I mean, I had already made my mind up I wasn't going to dance that night. I just wasn't feeling it. And so I was just going to sit there and drink on some cold waters, adult waters, and just call it a night. And I guess about halfway through the night, one of the girls that was with me, she's like, no, she goes, you're going to dance. She goes, you just been sitting over all night long, and I can tell you're not having fun. You're going to dance. And so I was like, no, I don't feel like dancing. And she was like, nope. It's not an option. You're dancing. She goes, so you better point somebody out, or I'm just going to go get somebody. And so I started looking around the dance floor, and I saw this table that there was two girls and two guys, well, three, a woman and two girls, and a guy and another guy, all sitting at this table. And all I could really see is they're brown blonde-headed, and they look pretty cute. So I just told her, I was like, hey, go over there to that table right there and just pick one of them. I don't care. And she's like, okay. So she went up there and went to the table and basically asked one of them, said, hey, my buddy wants to dance. And then she got the usual. She's like, oh, well, I don't know how to dance. I really just don't know how, so I don't think I'm going to do it. Da, 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 da. And so she comes back to me saying, that's always the answer you get a lot of times. And so she comes back, she's like, well, she won't dance. And I was like, all right, that's fine. I'm not here to dance. It's not a big deal to me. So I continued to have some drinks. And about that time, someone walked up to me. And I turned and I looked, and she's like, hey, are you the guy that was wanting to dance with me earlier? And I told her, I said, yeah. I said, I was. I said, it's no big deal that you didn't want to dance. And she goes, no. She goes, I really don't know how to dance. That's the only reason why I wouldn't dance with you. I don't know how. She goes, but my sister loves to dance. And I was like, really? And she's like, yes. And she has been wanting to dance with you all night long. And I'm like, okay, well, who's your sister? Wow. Yeah. And she goes, well, who's your sister? And she goes, well, she's over getting a drink. Come on. And so I walked over there, and Ashley had her back to me. And, well, I won't leave that part of the story out. Anyway, I already knew that she might be my type from walking up from behind.
Right.
Can we say that? I don't know if we can say that, but it's okay. Yeah, so we get there, and her sister taps her on the shoulder. And when Ashley turned around, I mean, you thought she had seen a ghost. Like, she was like just staring. And I was like, hey, I said, I'm Lance. I said, I hear you want to dance with me. And she's like, yeah, I want to dance. I was like, all right, cool. So well, let's go dance. And she's like, well, I got to get a drink first. So anyway, long story short, she got her a drink. We went back and set it down, went out and danced. And then the song was over. We danced again. I think we danced probably the rest of the night. We was there.
Yeah.
Then I got to go over and wasn't prepared for this, but I got to go over and apparently it was her mom, her dad, and all of her sisters over there, plus her sister's husband. So I kind of got to meet the family the first time out. That was great. And that's it. That's where we met. And we started talking after that. And here we sit now.
Been together ever since.
So it's kind of a long story, but that's how it happened.
Wow.
You going to add anything to that, babe?
No,
wow.
I mean, that's pretty spot on. I will add, though, whenever he sent Kayla over to ask somebody at our table to dance, I had gotten up and walked to the bathroom. So I wasn't even at the table. And I came back and sat down, and my sister that he asked to dance was like, hey, that guy that you even wanted to dance with all night came up and asked, if any of us wanted to dance. And I smacked her. I was like, you should have said yes. And then been like, hey, my sister thinks you're cute. She wants to dance with you. So she ended up making it up to me later on in the night, obviously.
Yeah, because she knew.
Which I was not expecting her to do.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's leaving out.
Yeah, that's wild. You've been eyeballing him all night.
Okay, so okay, I guess I'll give my POV. I was gonna wait.
Strange. It's like it's meant to be.
Yes, I was obviously out with my family that night. And we were sitting at this table, and I, was kind of sitting there, looking around, and all of a sudden I see him walking the bar, making circles. And I was like, as soon as I saw him, I locked on him, and I smacked my sister, and I was like, hey, that guy
Hold
over
on, was
there,
he facing the bartender when you walked up?
Yeah.
Because he said when he walked up behind you that he kind of knew that you were his type. Is it the same thing for you?
Yes. So I immediately, as soon as I saw him, I had been kind of looking around, and then I see him, boom, in a sea of people, smacked her. I was like, hey, that guy over there. She was like, where?
Isn't that something?
Yes. Yes.
And to think, I wasn't even going to go. I wasn't even going to go that night.
Yep. And I watched him make a little lap around the bar. And then I saw his table was across the dance floor from ours. So I kept kind of eyeing him, hoping he would feel me staring at him and come over, and he never did.
Yeah.
My radar was turned off that
That's
night.
A pretty neat story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Red, you joined the group on Facebook, right? So
yes,
what did you think about Red from the beginning? How have you, what's your relationship like? Is it kind of a brother-sister kind of thing?
We're like the three amigos. All three of us are always together.
It's more like a mom's.
My thought was the Three Stooges, but yeah.
So Garrett's family is in Florida. And when I met Lance and started coming out with the group, he kind of gave me a rundown of okay, this is all the people that are going to be here tonight. This is who they are. There's this guy. His name's Garrett. We weren't calling him Red at that point. It was still Garrett.
Right.
He was he's one of my best friends. He's a really good friend of mine. So I went in knowing, who Garrett was, obviously. I will agree with Lance. He enjoyed his adult beverages back then a little more than he does now.
Well, I wouldn't say a little more back then than I do now,
but you can control it better now. Yeah, you can control it better now. But as Lance and I's relationship evolved, obviously we all three got close. So Lance and I really are like a mom and dad to Garrett. He used to introduce us as, hey, this is my mom and this is my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Garrett's, to be very honest with you, Anthony, Garrett, he's a lot more mature than what his age is. He's the same age as my son. So Garrett's, won't give you age out online because older women may not dance with you anymore.
Well, you never know.
They might like
but
it.
Anyway, yeah. But he's the same age as one of my boys. So, I mean, we kind of took him in on our wing, and I don't know what we'd do without him.
Yeah.
He's kind of become part of the family.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So is it like is there like a group prankster or like a joker in the group?
Well, I wouldn't say it's just one of us.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
Me and Lance like to feed off each other.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
We do. We feed off each other. You know, Ash over here, she's the reserved one. She's the one that has the rod and reel and reels us in when we need to be reeled in.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong, she can cut loose too. But Garrett and I, we feed off each other, and we just like to have a good time.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It seems like just from it seems like nonstop BS from one side of the screen, like 2/3 of the screen, and then the other side's kind of serious, not serious necessarily, but a little more balanced. Yeah.
That's how it is in life too. It really is. So, especially after some adult waters, then we have a tendency to get a little out of control.
Yeah.
All three of us
have adult waters.
It's triple.
We need babysitters.
Yeah, for
yeah, because then the guardrails are down.
That's right. Let's pedal down. We're not hitting the brakes.
Well, just for the record.
So let's get back around to what is Red Dirt Steppin? You said that it's kind of a club, but what exactly is it? What are your plans for it? What did you start it? What were your plans at the beginning, and how have those changed?
Well, so in the beginning, it really did just start out as kind of a dance group. It just given me the ability to have people in my circle and around me that enjoy the things that I did. So basically, I'll be honest with you, it pretty much started out like a party group. I mean, we had a lot. We raised a lot of hell during those first couple of months, 3 or 4 or 5 months we did it. Yeah, we came up with our slogan then of loved, hated, but never ignored. And let's tell you, we could get into stories for days, but
not appropriate.
Yeah, but as it grew, I'll be honest with you, man. As it got, the bigger it got, the more drama that surrounded us, and so it got to the point where I felt like I was babysitting more than I was having fun, and I got to a point where I started not wanting to go out dancing anymore and it was my group. And I just didn't want to deal with all the stuff that was going on in the group anymore. And so then at that point, I started cutting back. I mean, I shut it down at one point. I separated the girls and the guys into different groups. That way there wouldn't be this constant drama. I mean, there's just so much that came with it. And I got pretty discouraged. So I kind of shut it down. And then after, I guess, a couple of months, I decided, you know what, let's roll with it again. Let's try it again. We got rid of what we called the bad seeds, and we started again. And so this time I started concentrating more on the clothing line. We have some designs we haven't released yet. We're trying to get to a point where we have anywhere from 10 to 20 designs ready to get rock and roll, and then we're going to push out the clothing line. We're going to start working on that more. But then as we were going out and we were dancing, I just started thinking, what else can we do? I don't want just to be a dance group. There's 1,000 dance groups. And I didn't really want to be labeled that, but I mean, it comes to the territory. But then I started thinking, I was like, you know what? Why don't we become a support system for artists? And that's really where it started. I was like, like you were saying, music, when you're singing, it's coming out of you. So you become part of the music. When we're dancing, we become part of that music too. And when you're in the entertainment business, the singing, of course, the singing is the front line though. But if you have an empty dance floor, it makes for a rough night. You're out there singing your heart out, and you want to see people dancing and having a good time and hooting and hollering. And when you got nobody out there, it's kind of like, okay, well, we could be sitting in by a bonfire singing instead of singing up on this stage. And so what we decided to do is like, let's start going in supporting local artists. Let's start going and supporting small artists, independent artists, and let's get people on the dance floor. And so that's where we started. And so when we would go out, we'd start dancing, and then people would see us dance, and then we always made it a point to go grab people and get them on the dance floor. And then I had cards we'd give out. So, hey, follow us on social media. You'll see where we're going. Y'all come out, y'all dance with us. And then it just kind of grew from there. And then it's grown to the point where we are now, where we're being recognized as not just a dance group, but an asset to the artist. So it's like, hey, we have artists like, hey, man, we want you here when we perform. We want to make you part of the show. We want you to hype up the crowd. We want you to get everybody going. And so that's kind of where we're at now, and that's kind of where we're headed into the future. Is to be more of a teammate with the artists and record labels and stuff like that, versus just being a group of people that come out and dance. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's definitely valuable. I've played a lot of shows that are that way. When nobody's there dancing in a country bar, it is really hard to play those old country songs. They're made for dancing, and if nobody's dancing, then you can feel it. It's missing in the room. Hey, y'all, I want to talk to you a minute about T-shirts. You can check this one out right here. It says, "Come and pick it." And I know y'all like that. I hope you also like this shirt with this good-looking fella on the front, the guy without a mustache. He's kind of pretty if you if you like kind of a softer-looking guy. He's good-looking. We got this one here without the guy on there, Anthony Bonnette and Lone Star Steel. Then we got this one that says Anthony Bonnette and Lone Star Steel. It's a navy version. All these shirts have been upgraded to a new, softer style. We really like these new T-shirts. As you can see, I'm wearing one right now. And here's an oldie but a goodie Bonnette song. Any of y'all that know, if you know, you know. It's that kind of a thing. There are more styles available online, more stuff available online, coffee cups and all kind of stuff like that. There's flags. There's come and pick it flags you can get. So there's a lot of stuff on there. I hope y'all go check it all out. Check it out at anthonybonnette.com. So you've said that your goal is to preserve traditional country dancing. How do you keep these traditions alive while introducing them to new audiences and also kind of adding a little bit modern kind of dance style to it?
Oh, yeah. So that's the hardest part of what we're doing. So like I said, I grew up on a traditional two-step. I grew up with a waltz, a double two, a three-step. So it's in my blood. It's what I've always done. So it's always been my go-to. It wasn't until, I'll be very honest with you, it wasn't until I started pursuing this whole group deal and starting to watch some of the newer stuff that was out there that I incorporated in a lot of the spins and dips and a lot of the tricks you see us doing now. But I've always it's just been a two-step for me for many, 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 many years. But unfortunately, with the times, we've lost a lot of it. So there's a lot of not only dancing, but in country music in general. I mean, country music's kind of gotten away from being country, and it's no fault to their own. People chase the money, and I get it. If you're going to do what you need to do to pad in your pockets, which is sad. But anyway, that's a whole nother soapbox of my own. But the dancing part of it's just the same. So the traditional country dancing is kind of gone on the wayside of this new style of competition dancing. And so they call it bar coast, which I got nothing against the ones that bar coast, but it's just not our thing. And quite frankly, it's not country dancing. What they've done is they've taken West Coast swing that originated out of California, and they've adapted it to country music, and they call it bar coast. And it's really, the guys are really just walking around the dance floor, and they're doing a lot of turns, and they're doing a lot of spins, and they're doing a lot of back and forth. Station, they're stopping and they're starting and stuff like that. And so it's really broken the traditional dancing etiquette that's always been around for so many years. So when I started this group, I just made a promise to myself I was never going to go down that path, and I won't. And anybody that comes into our group understands that's not us. If you want a bar coast, that's fine, but you won't be part of Red Dirt Steppin. And so what we do is when we go out and find people that don't know how to dance, we don't teach them Barcos. We teach them traditional. So we'll teach them a two-step first. If they don't know how to two-step, if it's hard for them to two-step, then we'll teach them a half-step, which that's basically walking around the dance floor, but at least it gives them the ability to start feeling the music and feeling the beat. And so then after that, we progress up to the two-step. And then once they learn that, then we start teaching the spins and stuff like that. But I tell everybody the spins and the tricks and stuff, honestly, that's not part of country traditional dancing. That's to wow the crowd. The two-step with the spins and a few little dips here and there, that's the traditional side of it. So we make sure that they know that, and that is their go-to. And then we start teaching the tricks and the stunts and stuff like that. And so that's just it. It's just anybody that says, hey, will you teach me to dance? That's what I do. I teach them traditional dancing. Yeah.
So are there any dances you think are like overlooked or getting lost faster than others?
Yeah. I mean, they may be able to answer that one. They've been around me long enough. I know one that's going away that you don't see very many of the younger generation doing is a waltz.
Nope, not at all.
The waltz has almost completely disappeared.
Yeah.
It's you hear you can
really
tell
is.
by the sound. It really has. You can tell by the song that it's a waltz, and you'll see people after two-stepping to it.
Or half-stepping.
Or half-stepping to it.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I see it all the time. And even older dancers, I mean, older from our perspective, 60s and 70s, they don't, a lot of them don't waltz. So it really is going away. And it's one of the oldest and one of my favorite like tempos of music.
Yeah.
So it's really sad to me.
Yeah. And it could be, I mean, it's a really smooth, kind of elegant dance too on the country side of the world. And so, yeah, that one's going away.
It is.
The traditional two-step fading away. I mean, second would be just a two-step. I mean, now there's a lot of variations to a two-step, but there's a lot of it. I guarantee you a lot of people don't know what a double two or a three-step is. They just don't know it. They're not being taught that. The whole dancing community has gone to line dances and Barcos. And we're not talking about country line dancing, man. We're talking about line dancing to every song you could possibly think of. You know, everything is a line dance to them. And it's just not the way it should be. I mean, and we're trying our best to get it back to I would say back to the 90s. The 90s was the best time for country music.
The flow on the floor is so cool when there's a floor full of people. They're all dancing around, moving around that floor, and with some rhythm and with some flow. And that a lot of that dancing, it just kind of stops in spots, and the whole floor's not moving anymore.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things that we try to work on too, is progressing forward. And that's one of the main things that we have. Far Coast.
They don't know the etiquette.
Right.
That's the problem. When they bark like that and you're moving forwards and backwards, you should be on the inside of the floor, and they take over the whole outside lane. And then they look at you like you're the problem.
Yeah.
That's really one of our biggest issues.
Yeah. And there's a community out there. We're starting to see a lot of posts now where people are putting out their dance etiquette, time to get back to it, need to follow it. And so it's kind of like country music, Anthony. It's slowly but surely starting to flip back. And dancing, it looks like dancing is doing the same thing. So
I hope so. So when you're out teaching or performing, do you have a reaction from people who are new to traditional country dancing? Is it what they're wanting to learn when they come to see you, or do they want to go right into the tricks?
You can answer that one, Red.
Well, there a lot of them want to start learning all the tricks without learning just the basic two-step. You know,
right?
That we've had. Too many to count, I'm sure.
Yeah, they all start there.
Yeah.
I want to learn this.
I want to learn this. Y'all do this. I want to learn this. So yeah.
Well, the one that I've always taught them just to kind of get their minds off of it, is the candlestick.
Yeah.
That's the one that's super easy to teach. It's a little difficult to get into, but they don't have to do much. I mean, it's literally just the guy throwing the girl around. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a wow factor. It's a wow factor. I mean, to be honest with you, the two-step's not all that exciting by itself. I mean, for us that have grown up dancing it, we enjoy it. But it's not
but it's a mover though. Like a two-step, you can make laps on a two-step.
Yes, you can. You can move, but it's not like it's going to stop people in their tracks for them to come over them and take a gander at it. But when you throw, you start throwing the tricks and stuff like that, then it adds an extra element to it. But then that also comes with safety too, man. So we gotta be safe out there when you're doing those kind of things. And that's why we don't teach a lot of that stuff to beginners, because for the most part we make it look pretty easy. At least that's what everybody says. I mean, y'all make that look so easy. And to the newcomers, are like, yeah, it's not easy. There's a lot of business to learn this, and all it takes is one missed position or you not to do it right, and someone's getting hurt.
Yeah.
And so that's we take a lot of pride in trying to teach those things and doing the right way.
Well, those things too, to add to that.
So what's your favorite dances? Oh, you got something to add to that. Go ahead. Sorry. That. So the lag.
With the tricks, though, I mean, the newcomers coming in wanting to learn it. When we're learning these tricks, we're doing it with one person. I trust him fully, and he trusts me. If you don't know the person you're throwing these tricks with, you can't just go up to somebody random and be like, "Hey, throw me in this." It doesn't work that way. So.
Yeah, you got to build that trust.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen people get thrown down in the floor more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I've seen some pretty bad accidents happen on the dance floor.
So. Yep, exactly. So tell me what your favorite dances are, each one of you. You've had a second to hear me say that. So what's your favorite dance?
What's your favorite dance? Go ahead.
A two-step.
You like the two-step?
Yeah. Well, okay. I really like the waltz. However, he's Iron Man, and he can't waltz all the time. So.
Well, I shattered my ankle. Like I destroyed my ankle. It's full of metal, and so going that up on the heel and back down and up on the toes and back down. It tears my ankle up. So I can do it, but I can't do it all the time. So, what about you, Red?
I'm going to say mine's honestly a traditional two-step. There's just something about it. I'm not. Really? I like all the tricks and stuff, but like you said, the traditional two-step is just basically a two-step and some spins and some dips, and I like doing that. I don't like to just have to put a wow factor on my dance all the time. I like to be able to walk up to a lady and ask her to dance and her enjoy it just as much as I do.
Yep. And then mine's probably a double two-step.
A double? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only problem with me and a double, I love a double too, but I accidentally slip into a three-step from a double too. Holly always says that especially if I've had a couple of adult waters, I'd slip into a three-step. So I think my favorite's a double, but my body tells me it's a three-step.
Yeah. I'm that way when it comes to two-step, and there's a way. It's only done in A&M. I mean, at least it might be. It might be done elsewhere these days. But if there's any Aggies watching, I apologize. But A&M has a unique way of doing a two-step, so we call it a Paul step around here. But they have a tendency to do it, and they kick their leg out like to the side. And every when I used to go down and dance in college, that's the way they do it. And so I'm like you, Anthony. You go from a double two to a three. There's times when we're two-stepping, and all of a sudden she's like, "Are we Paul stepping now? What are you doing?" Like I'll go from a two-step to a Paul step, back to a two-step. And she's like, "What are we doing?" Paul stepping. So It's just, hey, you just never know.
Yep,
You just
that's
feel
pretty
music.
neat. Well, she don't understand yet that her job is just to follow.
I know, right?
Oh, I do.
That's right. Just
I do.
hold the.
So y'all are big supporters of country artists. Why is it so important to you to promote country music and dancing?
Anybody want to take that?
Because it's fading out. It's fading out. We're trying to hold on to the tradition.
Family tradition.
Yeah. I mean, it's well, to me, we're not gonna get into Nashville speak, but to me, living in Texas, you know, I'm a big fan of Texas country. Big fan of Red Dirt country. I haven't been a fan of Nashville country in a long time. There's some artists that I like, but Nashville's just kind of, they've taken it away from being country. And so us supporting these up and coming artists, these ones that are really truly taking it back to the country, the old style of country, you know, back from the ones that created it, you know, the sounds of Waylon and Willie and Johnny Cash and all those guys like that. You know, there's a lot of that sound starting to come back. And that's what country was built on. And so for me, it's almost more like hanging on to our roots, hanging on to what we grew up with, and just making sure that generations to come understand what real country is. Because I think there's a lot of them right now that they have this idea of country, but they have no idea what it is. So, you know, and I guess what I'm saying is that they think if you buy a cowboy hat and a pair of boots, it makes you country. And that's not it. I mean, it's a lifestyle. It's the way you were raised. There's so much more that goes to it. And country music has always been the one that was almost like the gospel of that lifestyle, right? So you guys sing about life experiences. You sing about things that's happened to you. You don't just sing things that have no meaning whatsoever. Country music's always been that way. It's been almost like a storyteller. Right. Of life experiences, and we're getting away from that, you know. And I don't know. I'm just trying our best to help bring it back. That's me.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because it really is a way of, I don't know, a way of addressing the world, kind of a way of being a country person. I never thought I was when I was young. You know, you're in high school and you think you're this one thing, because everybody around you is kind of a similar thing. But we moved out to Los Angeles for a few years, and while I was there, I realized it just came to me when they started calling me Opie. It just came to me that I'm a country person. Just like my outlook in the world, who I am is I'm country.
Yep. And I've been there. I've gone this route before, and I've come this route before when I was younger. And I always had a tendency to come back to country. And as I got older, I mean, I was the same way. I was like, no, this is where I belong, and this is where I'm gonna stay. And so that's just growing pains. That when you're younger, you don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, like Garrett, he don't know what's going on.
Garrett don't. Well, I'm not going. Man, Nate, the world could see it.
Lord have mercy.
No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be good.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Well,
no, be good. No, don't do it. What I think it is.
Nope.
What I think it is, don't do it.
You might as well go on and say it.
No.
All right, next topic. I ninja.
So, are there any artists specifically or songs that you think people should know more about?
Oh man. Well, are we talking about? You talking about from years ago and from the past, from where it started, or just any artist?
Well, no, more modern stuff, newer people making authentic country music.
Oh man. Well, there's this one guy. His name's Anthony. He does pretty good. I mean, he needs to work on it a little bit, but he's trying.
Come on. Hey, I will tell you, I've asked about 20 or 30 people on this podcast who they think is a real up and comer, and you're the first one to say nothing about me. So I appreciate that. That's the first.
No, man. Hey, we enjoy seeing you perform, man. I mean, we really do. We love coming out to your shows. But on a different scale, like some of them that have kind of gained traction, and they're kind of in that. I guess they're kind of in that. I hate to say purgatory on here, but they're kind of between their roots in Nashville that's still trying to bring it out. Like Jake Worthington is doing really good. You have Zach Top. He's doing really good. You have there's a
I heard about Billy Joe.
Yeah, Hudson Westbrook is coming up. We got one Billy Joe Jones here that we follow, and she's nipping on their heels right now. I mean, she's, these guys got a lot of clout quickly. Those guys did. But she is really starting to come on. She's about to drop her second album. And we're doing a lot of stuff with her. And she is, as far as a female artist is concerned, she is definitely keeping it traditional country. There's also Madison Page is doing good. What's it? Peyton Howie.
Yeah.
That's another one. She's doing really good. Hudson Westbrook. We fall in there's a group too that we just started kind of working with is Howard County. Mm-hmm. They're another group that's coming up, traditional country. Then we got Uncle Rhino who's coming back out. There's a lot.
You guys did something with. You guys did something with Billy Joe that was on her song "Why You Got to Be So Cowboy," like on the creating the official line dance or something like that. Did I see something like that?
Yeah, we had the opportunity to do that with her. We haven't. She hasn't launched it yet. There's some stuff in the works that which we can't say much about right now, but it hasn't hit mainstream yet, but it's coming. I don't know the time frame yet. But we're waiting to hear back from them, and then we're gonna be pushing that one hard and heavy. Our latest thing we just
definitely got the talent.
Oh yeah, for sure. The latest thing we did was with an artist. His name's Uncle Rhino, and he just dropped. It just dropped on the 13th. It's a song called "Wailing for Cash," and we just did a music video with him down there at Pearl Saloon. So. We're working on that and let that come back, and that's supposed to hit the airways, and then we're going to start pushing that video as well. And so we've got a lot of stuff going with some of these artists. So we're excited about it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So who does the choreographing?
It's not choreographed. What are you talking about, man? That comes from the heart.
Well, it's a line dance. You have to. Somebody has to lay it out and say who does what when. When do you slide to the left and when do you slide to the right?
Slide to the right, and when you drop it down low, yeah. I don't know. I mean, exactly. I think we all have a piece of that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
three of us.
We all had a piece in it. We kind of just took bits and pieces of other line dances that we have kind of learned along the way, and we're like, hey, what would this look like here? And then we add that in there, and then we modified it. But we also came up with some really unique new moves that you don't really see. There's no other line dance that are doing those moves. So
like our guns,
like the guns and different things like that, and the tipping of the hat. We try to add some country elements into it. So yeah.
Is it pretty cool to see other people doing the dance that y'all put together?
I'll say it was pretty surreal teaching her. Because we haven't really taught a whole bunch. It hasn't come out yet officially, so we haven't really taught very many people. But when we had to teach her and show her, like, it was just a really surreal, like, full circle moment.
Right.
It was really cool.
We've all seen how fast things can go south. Hurricane Helene ripping through the East Coast, wildfires ripping across California, or Snowmageddon leaving Texans stranded without power for weeks. When disaster hits, the last thing you want is to be caught empty-handed. I like to keep my Patriot supply on hand for long-term food storage and emergency preparedness. They got everything from 25-year emergency food kits to survival gear and water filtration, the things that just make sense to have at the ready. And let's be real, we've all seen store shelves get wiped out overnight when something big happens. Being prepared is about peace of mind. And hey, even if the world's not ending, this stuff is handy. Whether you're stuck at home in a power outage or you're just stocking up for the deer lease so you don't have to live off gas station food all weekend, My Patriot Supply's got you covered. Right now, you can get yourself squared away and support the show at the same time. Just head over to anthonybonnette.com/MyPatriotSupply and stock up today. Whether it's for storms, blackouts, or just having some extra security in your pantry, you'll be glad you did. That's anthonybonnette.com/MyPatriotSupply. Don't wait till it's too late.
Oh, yeah, man. We're going to get y'all back out and about. I wish y'all could come up to Billy Joe's show, man, if y'all wasn't on the road. I don't know if you got anything going on.
Maybe we can.
So
we're cutting back this year. We're only going to play about every other weekend, hopefully, this year. So I feel like we're oversaturated a little bit.
And I don't know where you're. It seems to me like you like to do it for the love of singing, man. You're not.
I do.
And maybe I got you all you wrong, but
no, I do.
If but any artist needs to expand their fan base, right? So if you play the same venues over and over and over again, you're never really going to have an opportunity to reach new people. And so playing other venues will help you grow your fan base as well. I mean, Pearls, I promise you right now, brother, they'll get you in there in a heartbeat. If you wanted to play Pearls,
well, I know she seemed like she might. We'll see.
Yeah, it might be difficult to get the band up there. I know that's kind of because you got like traveling expenses, but we were watching Billy Joe up in Texarkana.
We were Texarkana,
yeah. And I was sitting at the side of the stage and listening to him sing, and there's some new people in the band. And they were they were getting down. I was like, man, this is crazy. I mean, these are new band members, and they learned all this. And then all of a sudden I looked up, and they all had sheet music. They were all reading sheet music.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that is wild. I guess that's what you do, but I just always thought everybody memorized the songs and just played them,
Yeah, that ain't what I do. I can promise you that. I barely speak English, much less music. Dude.
Yeah, I've never been to read the music.
I can't
either.
Well, Garrett, you're also a musician. I've just found out. How does that help you? Does it help you or hurt you when it comes to dancing?
It helps me, actually. It helps me a lot.
You think so?
It's easy for me to find a beat anyway. It just makes it a little bit easier.
So do you ever play or sing during? Have y'all heard him sing even?
Yes. We hear him sing all the time.
All the time.
Too much. Okay.
His best venue is a shower. A lot of fans in there, obviously.
Didn't know I was loud.
Well, do you sing on the dance floor? I know watching my daddy sing on the dance floor, he sings every word to every song spinning around out there.
I used to quite a bit while I was dancing. I'd sing the song, here and there, and then sometimes the partner would sing with me and stuff like that. But I've kind of focused more on since I started focusing more on my progressing the floor and stuff and trying to work on moves while I'm dancing, I've kind of quit. But I've always loved to, sing. I mean, hell, I play my guitar around a fire at the bonfires we do, or just around a group of people,
Okay. Yeah, you got to kind of pick one. You can't dance and play on the stage. So.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
If you could do that, Bubba.
You could.
Hold on, this way.
You have to get you one of them Garth Brooks microphones that comes around here and a wireless guitar, and you can do it.
Yeah, you can rock.
There we go.
There you go, man.
So I said earlier that I really liked the logo, a couple of the logos you got. Do you have, what's that newest one right there on your shirt? Does it have who designed it? And does it have any special meaning?
So I have a designer that I use, but we wanted to take the word Red Dirt Steppin and kind of make it into a textual logo that could be easily recognized. And so what we did is we took of course, the R, the D, and the S, and then just kind of tied it all into one. So it's kind of like you see all like you have your Under Armour logos, or you have all these logos, which is just the logo itself, but it's been kind of burned into your mind that when you see it, then we know that's Under Armour, or when you see this logo, we know that's Ford, or we know that's, and so that's kind of what we want to do. That just have kind of a textual logo where people can see it and know who we are, and then of course we have our other designs that we put on the back of the shirts and things like that.
Yeah, your designs are really good. The only thing you got to watch out for is the RDS and the LDS. They may not approve of your those Mormons out there. They're I don't know about. Although when I did say something about us taking foxtrot lessons, when we took them, it was a Mormon couple that was teaching that classical kind of dance. So they do dance.
They do. I grew up Baptist. I wasn't supposed to dance.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were pretty serious too. We wasn't Baptists, but we judged the Baptists.
Yeah. We did everything we're not supposed to do. That's good.
Exactly. So, you got any plans as far as the merch for expansion? Any new things on the horizon?
Yeah. I mean, we have some new designs out there. It's mainly just getting to a point where we can get the merchandise in. That's our main goal right now is building our inventory. Once we build our inventory, I mean, we've got ample opportunities, down at like Pearls. They told us we could come up and set up a booth anytime we wanted to sell the merch down there. We've also been looking at starting to go to some of these music festivals and stuff like that and setting up booths to sell it, incorporating, teaching some dancing during the day, but also have a merch booth as well. We just got to get to that point. So the biggest thing right now is getting the designs finished up and getting the inventory in hand. We have a website right now, but it's only got 2 shirts out there. So it's lacking, but we're going to get there. It's one step at a time.
Yeah. So what's next for Red Dirt Steppin? You got any big collaborations coming up?
Well, we've got a few things in the works.
Like, can we talk about them?
There's some
can you talk about it?
No, there's some we can't really say much about it right now, but the one that we can talk about, of course, is with the Billy Joe deal and the Uncle Rhino deal is going really well. He's got some plans for us that he's in the works, and there's a lot of things. I never expected we'd ever get to this point where I have to say, hey, we can't really talk much about things, but we've kind of hit that point now. But we do have some big things in the works. We have a big event that we're working on with Pearl Saloon. Can't really say what that is right now either. I know it's kind of like
boo.
I know. And I'll tell you, Anthony, we do, and it's not necessarily just us saying. I mean, we've been told by record labels and artists like, hey, you can't bring this out. There's a whole PR part behind everything, and so we have to kind of keep it. They don't make us sign any kind of non-disclosures, but it's kind of a handshake that says, hey, let's keep this under wraps. But in all fairness for them, brother, I mean, it's people are not very honest these days. I mean, we have had, and I'll just tell you from our experience, we bring out and we do certain things, and we've come out with certain ideas only to have people that were in our group branch out and try to make their own groups and do what we do. And that's happened to us a handful of times. And so it's almost like, okay, well, even one point, me and her were like, well, I don't know if we really want to post too many more videos sitting out there of us doing new things, because as soon as we do, those people are going to go and try to learn it, and they're going to try to make it their own. Yep. And that's just the world. That's the way the world works. And so if we say, hey, we're doing this event with Pearls, and it's still in the planning stages, and not that people would do it, but if another bar heard it or another dance group heard it and they went to another bar and it's like, hey, y'all want to do this? And then they roll out with it first, it's like, okay, well, that wasn't y'all's idea. That was our idea.
Yeah.
And so that's why we have to keep a lot of stuff under wraps. But it's going to be good, man. We put some filler. We threw some crumbs out there to some people, and they're picking it up, and they're excited about it.
Where do you see the group 5 years from now?
Oh, good Lord. Anthony, I'm sure I'll still be here in 5 years, bro. What are you talking
Yes,
about?
you would.
I don't look that far in advance. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm hogging all the air time to
I don't know.
Go on, get it, man.
Man, I'll be honest with you, man. I really hope see, but this is another thing that we've already Anthony, man, you're giving me some really good questions, man, and I would love to tell you. You know what? I'll tell you offline. No. So we have a plan on where we're headed. So we really want to become form more partnerships, and because, like I said earlier, kind of become more of a team, part of the team with different artists and stuff like that, and record labels. And so we've got a plan in place, and we've already kind of talked to. They've talked to us, and we've talked to them about certain things, and we're excited about it. But it's going to be something that's never been done before.
I think you just say,
and it's hard to.
Hopefully, in 5 years, RDS will be like a household name.
Sure, we can leave it at that. So if everything works out well, man, we probably will be a household name, and there's going to be some exciting stuff coming that's never been done before. And we're hoping people take it and they enjoy it, and it opens the door for others to come behind us. So,
well, I will say, with your branding and just how you guys are, when I first saw you, I thought you were like national. I thought you were like at least a regional kind of outfit, but I thought you were like a national just because of how I don't know, you all kind of have the same, I don't know, spirit about you, and you're all wearing those cool shirts with the cool logos. Like, man, I wonder if I should join this club.
Well, heck yeah.
Yes.
Come on, Bubba. Yeah, that's one of the things that, I don't know, I guess I owe my mom this. My mom's always said, if you're going to do something, do it right. Don't just do it halfway. And so one of the things I wanted to started the group is I wanted to separate ourselves from the rest of the groups. And there's a lot of groups out there that they don't have logos, they don't have a mission, they don't have goals, they don't have ambitions. They're just kind of like, oh well, we're just going to go out here and do some dancing, and that's fine. I have nothing against that. But for me, I wanted it to be a bigger picture. I want to bring country music to the masses. I want to bring country dancing to the masses. And when I say that, I mean not only all across the United States, but I want to take it to Europe. I want to take it all across. I mean, we have so many people reach out. I mean, we've had people reach out from Europe, from Australia, from Germany, from all over, and they're like, "Can y'all please come here? Please come here." We put on a conference, and I had one lady tell me in Germany, if we came over and put on a conference, did a 2-day conference, that she would guarantee we would pack it out. She goes, everybody would love to learn how to do that, and so that's kind of where, where my mind is. I mean, I know that's a huge ambition, but taking good country music abroad is kind of where I want to go, because I mean that's a market that's untapped.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've heard that like the Germany and a lot of those countries over there are about the size of a bigger county in Texas. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
But
I don't either.
It's just
I don't think they're not as big, probably not as big as Texas, but we might be a little.
They
biased.
almost took over here just about 100 years ago. You're almost speaking German right now, so I should probably be nice.
Yeah, that is correct. But no, it's kind of cool. We just get a lot of interest from people outside the United States that really want to learn and watch us, and they love watching us, and they become fans of ours. So I would love to be able to do that.
Really neat. So, if somebody wanted to join your dance community or support y'all, where should they start?
Well, there's a few places. I mean, one, Facebook is kind of where we have our group set up and stuff like that. But if they were interested in joining the group or wanted to learn how to dance, then they just need to reach out to us, like on Facebook. We go Facebook Messenger. They can reach out to us on Instagram. Send us a message on Instagram. And that's where it starts. So what we do, especially if there's someone interested in the group, then we bring them out. We don't just add people to the group. So we require them to come out, hang out with us. We kind of assess their ability to dance. You don't have to be able to dance to be part of our group. I mean, we will teach you that, but it's always a plus if you know the basics before we join. And then we just kind of fill them out as people. I mean, I don't want to say it's an initiation by any means, but it's not just oh, hey, I'm Lance, I'm John, great, be in the group. Come on. We got to get to know them. Yeah. So we have to get to know them. So we bring them out, and then they have to get to know everybody in the group. So, and then the group really decides. It's not just me. I don't make the choice. I go to every group member and say, hey, what do you think about her? What do you think about him? Would they be a good fit? And everybody votes on it. And if they come back and say, yeah, then we bring them in. If they say no, then we don't bring them in the group. So.
Right. Well, I saw even joining the group aside, I saw y'all doing a live on TikTok the other day, and I thought it was super cool how many people were just watching the fun take place, watching the dance floor and watching. That was really neat how many people were involved in that.
Yeah, that's what we get a lot of followers doing those kind of things, doing the lives and stuff. And we've got to get better at doing them on all the platforms. We usually just do it on TikTok. But yeah, man, we've got a pretty good following on TikTok. We can have anywhere from, we've had as low as 14 in there watching, but then there's times we've had 1,800 to 2,000 in there watching. Now on those 1,800 to 2,000 nights, it's probably because Red's had way too much to drink. He's pulling his antics, and they like watching to see if he survives the night. But still, we still have 18 to 2,000 people in there. So, hey, Red. Go Red. But yeah, that is neat, and to see people and they just love to watch, the dancing and everything that goes on.
Yeah. So we're getting close to the end here. I've got a pretty important question for each one of the three of y'all. What's a song that always gets you out on the dance floor no matter what? One song.
Who wants to go? I've been going first every time.
I'll let you go.
Stop being scared.
I ain't scared. I just got to think about this one.
For me, it's Cody Johnson, Dance Her Home, because that's really what we throw a lot of our crazy tricks. But I'm also, depending on where we're at and who's playing, if anybody plays anything Johnny Cash, that'll get me. If he is talking to somebody, I'm like, hey, we're going to have to put a pin in this. We're going to the dance floor.
Yes. The band the other night was teasing it and kept teasing it.
And I was getting so mad.
Hang on. It's funny. All right. What about you, Red?
I'm still thinking.
You're still thinking?
What?
A good song. Man, there's a lot of songs that'll get me out of the dance.
Oh, okay.
What I would say, though.
Come on, Red.
It's actually Brandy's song, too. Neon Moon.
Oh, yeah.
Neon Moon, that's a good one.
Neon Moons are pretty good, and I like it. Plus, I really don't have a choice. Every time that song comes on, if Brandy's around, you best believe I'm on that dance floor with her.
Yeah. Somebody's dancing for her on that song. Oh, man. Well, I mean, I've got a lot of them, man. But probably the two songs that I'll dance to every single time they come on, and one is Tulsa Time. I really like to dance to Tulsa Time. It's got this kind of fun little beat to it to dance to. And then the other one is just, and I guess the other one is just because when I was growing up, you always knew the night was over when they played it. It was the last song of the night. Every bar all across Texas, they don't do it much anymore, but they used to. And that's Empty Glass.
Mm-hmm.
And when they play that one, buddy, you got about 3 minutes to either go home alone or you better find somebody. So yeah. That's the way it worked back then. That's my 3 minutes. That's my call.
Empty Glass. A 3-minute warning.
Yes, 3-minute warning right there.
Yep.
So those are the ones that'll take me on the floor every time.
So one more question. If you're at a dance hall and a beginner's nervous about stepping on the floor, what advice would you give them?
As a follower, I would say don't think about anything. don't think about it. As females, we tend to overthink about every single thing.
She said it.
So really, when you get out on the dance floor, if you're thinking about it, I mean, you can see it all over somebody's face. I can see somebody thinking on the dance floor, I mean, in a heartbeat. Whereas you're not thinking about it, you're just in the moment, you're moving, and you look great. So don't think.
There you go.
Yeah. Red,
what about for a leader?
You know?
Yeah, as a lead, I'd probably just have to say, I mean, kind of just following up on what she says, you know.
Mm-hmm.
As a lead, the guy needs to be smooth with it, but he also needs to be able to guide. So the lady needs to not think and just be able to follow, but a guy needs to be able to guide. You got to know what pressure points you're going to be using. You got to know what direction you need to be going, what beats to be spinning on, what beats to be stepping on, you know what I mean? What beats to be dipping on. Kind of think about it as you're going through the motions.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I guess for me, mine is, you know, if I meet somebody that doesn't know how to dance up front, you know, the first thing I do is tell them that when we hit this dance floor, it's not me, you, and the whole bar. It's me and you.
Yeah.
And so you got to block out all the people that's in your peripherals. You can't be looking around the floor. You can't be doing all that because you're going to, no matter where you're at, no matter how good you are, there's always going to be that one negative Nancy sitting over in a chair somewhere. And if you make eye contact with that person, you're going to swear up and down they're looking at you and they're making fun of you. So I just tell them, I was like, listen, don't concentrate on everybody else. Just concentrate on this 3 minutes of this song with you and I. You don't know how to do it, but I'm going to teach you. And then I always tell them, and I even told Ashley, and sometimes I still tell her now, especially if we're in front of a big crowd and there's all eyes on us. I always tell them, listen, don't think, just dance. That's it. Don't think, just dance. And I have taken some beginners out there, brother, that swore up and down they could not dance. And I will purposely just start throwing spins and difficult moves with them. And they do it every single time. And then they get so excited. They're like, wait a minute, I didn't even know how to dance. And I just did that. And so it really is for the women. It's a mental game for them. They get in their heads and then that hurts them more than anything else. So, yeah, don't pay attention to the crowd. Right. Don't think, just dance. That's what I tell them every time.
Sounds like good advice. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want everybody to go follow Red Dirt Steppin. Check out the links provided in the description. Lance, Ashley, and Red, thank y'all so much for being on with us today.
Hey, man, we appreciate it. Much
Thanks
love.
and
Sure.
You need to come out again, brother, and let us know.
We're coming back out.
Yeah, let us know where you're going to be playing so we can come and dance to it.
All right. That's what we need you for. Y'all don't need to be watching me dance. It needs to be the other way around.
Oh, no. We saw you. You know how to dance.
We saw y'all.
Man.
Y'all are so good.
Yep. Y'all could tearing up that floor tonight.
Yes.
Don't even be.
Well, we're just smooth. I got rhythm. Holly's struggles with following my fancy moves, but apart from that, we do okay.
Well, somebody's on the couch.
We enjoyed it.
All right, man. Y'all take care, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us today on Come and Pick It. If you had a good time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop us a review. It helps more folks like you find the show. Till next time, y'all keep picking it.